What's going on, everybody? This is going to be an awesome fight that is going to be fireworks from the second it starts to the second it ends. I am extremely looking forward to this fight. As soon as they announced it, I was like, yes, this is going to be a badass fight. These dudes are going to put on a hell of a war for us in the octagon at UFC Fight Night 110 on June 10th, 2017 in New Zealand. So real quick, if you're new to the channel and you haven't yet, punch that subscribe button into submission. If you enjoy this video, make sure to slap that like button like a pimp like you mean it. Share the video with your family and friends and all over the internet, and make sure to let us know down below in the comment section your thoughts and opinions. Do you agree with this prediction? Do you disagree with it? Who do you think's going to win, and how do you think they're going to win? How many rounds do you think these two juggernauts will go? So we have UFC Fight Night New Zealand predictions and preview for Derrick Lewis versus Mark Hunt in the main event of UFC Fight Night 110. Lewis versus Hunt is going to be spectacular, as we have the Black Beast, Derrick Lewis, ranked number 6 in the heavyweight division, and the Super Samoa, Mark Hunt, ranked number 7 in the heavyweight division. It's pretty crazy. As these two guys are big dudes, and it's going to be a huge fight, as Lewis has got 18 wins, 4 losses with 1 no contest, and Mark Hunt has got 12 wins, 11 losses, a draw, and 1 no contest. And I actually, as the news that recently came out about the fight with him and Alistair Overeem that he just had, that Overeem was apparently allowed to use an IV when the IVs have been banned. So I feel that that's a form of cheating, and that should be overturned to a no contest, in my opinion. But it is what it is. If the commission allowed it, that's bullshit. But anyways, this is going to be intense. So let's get to the prediction and then some more information. I am going to be going with the Super Samoa, Mark Hunt, to win it by KO TKO in the very first round, putting down Derrick Lewis. The Black Beast will lose, and he will not go on to have a 7-fight win streak, as Mark Hunt will knock him out in probably a walk-off knockout, spectacular knockout finish. I imagine that Mark Hunt will catch him with a wild punch. Not really wild, because he's very methodical with the strikes. I think he's going to hit him with a nasty one-punch knockout, and it'll be a walk-off knockout from Mark Hunt, and he should actually get a rematch against Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title next, instead of Cain Velasquez or somebody else. I feel that Mark Hunt deserves a rematch with Stipe Miocic after he knocks out Derrick Lewis, in my opinion. Let me know what you think about that and about the prediction. So, it is possible that Lewis could end up knocking him out. As Derrick Lewis, he is on a 6-fight win streak with 3 TKOs and 2 KOs and a split decision win, where he didn't knock out Roy Nelson, which is pretty crazy considering. Roy Nelson is a badass dude. He's a hard dude to knock out, but Mark Hunt did get a walk-off knockout on Roy Nelson, but Mark Hunt couldn't knock him out. But he did get a TKO victory over Victor Pesta, Damian Garbarski, and then he got a nasty knockout over Gabriel Gonzalez. He went to a split decision with Roy Nelson. He got a TKO over Shamil with a pretty wild last name, and then he got a vicious, brutal, hellacious knockout over Travis Brown, because the referee Mario just wanted to see Travis Brown go unconscious. Apparently he must like that, because it seems like it happens a lot with him. But Derrick Lewis, he's gotten 16 wins by KO TKO, 1 lone submission, and 1 decision. He's lost twice by KO TKO, never lost by submission, and lost twice by decision. Who is it that he lost to by KO and TKO? Sean the Savage Jordan beat him by TKO back in 2015 UFC Fight Night 68. In 2 fights before that, he got knocked out cold in the first round by Matt Mitrione at UFC Fight Night 50 in spectacular fashion. He, after he got knocked out by Mitrione, he did end up returning and knocking and getting a TKO over Rowan Potts at UFC 184. And then he lost to Sean Jordan. But the no contest was accidental strike to the back of the head, contestant's head. Okay. And Tony Johnson beat him by unanimous decision. Sean Jordan actually beat him twice. So that first time was by unanimous decision. You know, which is pretty interesting. What does he have for submissions? I thought it said he had a submission and armbar. The other one must actually be submission due to punches, but it was actually a submission, TKO. I don't know. Kind of confused on that. No, we had one lone submission. All right. Now for Mark Hunt, he's got 9 wins by KO, TKO, 3 by submission. 3 by decision with no submissions. He's never lost when it went to the judge's decision, as it says here, because of the no contest with Brock Lesnar. He's lost 6 times by submission, 5 times by KO, TKO. He's coming off of a KO loss to Alistair Overeem at UFC 209. He did defeat Frank Mir at UFC Fight Night 85 with a KO walk-off. And then he had a TKO over Bigfoot Silva at UFC 193. He lost to Brock Lesnar by decision, but then that was turned over to a no contest. He lost to Stipe Miocic, who is now the champ. Then he wasn't at UFC Fight Night 65 by TKO. Verdum beat him in a title fight for an interim heavyweight title. Verdum got him with the knees and punches with a TKO. Before that, he had that awesome walk-off knockout over Roy Nelson at UFC Fight Night 52. And then we had the draw with Bigfoot Silva, and it was awesome when they returned and fought again. He lost to Junior Dos Santos. You notice the guys that he's lost to have all either been heavyweight champions or are former heavyweight champions. Well, they're all former, except for one is now a heavyweight champ. But Junior Dos Santos, former heavyweight champion. Verdum, he is a former heavyweight champion. Stipe is a heavyweight champion. And Overeem has won championships in other places. So, we could go way back. We could go back to 2010 and so forth. But I'm not going to bother getting into all that with him. I believe with the style that Derrick Lewis has, I like him. I always enjoy watching him fight. I always want to see him win. But I just feel that that the way he's even said it himself, he's not like a real striker and a fighter and this and that. He's a brawler and this and that. Where Mark Hunt, he's methodical. He looks for that precision, that proper knockout spot, that proper swing, not wasting energy and not, going for ridiculous strikes. He is very methodical and logical in his striking, and I believe that Derrick Lewis is going to end up getting trapped into a Mark Hunt walk-off knockout at UFC Fight Night 110 down in New Zealand in the first round. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Do you agree with me or disagree with me on that prediction? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to take a moment and slap that like button like a pimp. Share the video with your family and friends and all over the internet if you want. And if you haven't yet, make sure to punch that subscribe button into submission here on YouTube at Joe's Madness. Thanks for watching. Combat Sports is awesome, and you guys are amazing.